Today we'll be talking about cardiorespiratory fitness by Casey, Justin, Rachel, and Garrett. Before we begin any cardiorespiratory fitness, we must do a pre-assessment of our patients. First is the part Q, then the blood pressure, then HR.
7 questions, alright? Has your doctor ever said that you have a heart condition or high blood pressure? No? Do you feel pain in your chest at rest during daily activities of living or when you do physical activity? No. Do you lose balance because of dizziness or have you lost consciousness in the last 12 months? No. Have you ever been diagnosed with another chronic medical condition other than heart disease or high blood pressure? No. Are you currently taking prescribed medication for a chronic medical condition? No. Do you currently have or had within the 12 past months a bone, joint, or soft tissue like muscle, ligament, or tendon problem that could be made worse by becoming more physically active? No. Has your doctor ever said that you should only do medically supervised physical activity? I'll make it. Alright, just let me know when you okay. Huh? I'll say whatever you choose. Just keep it consistent. Like you can do this after.
Okay, so you guys are gonna come out and are you guys still on?
Yeah, do that.
Should we record it? Or I can just go like this and
Dr. Sherwin, do you want everybody to be in the video?
However your team works. So if someone is just videoing on camera, if someone is however you guys good.
Today, explain this.
No, so then just show it.
I say we do the beginning at least. Let's just do the beginning.
The Bruce treadmill graded exercise test is a continuous protocol with increases in both speed and grade every 3 minutes. Participants are encouraged to continue as long as possible for max test or until a predetermined percentage of age estimated heart rate max is attained. For this study we did about 70% for the heart rate max. Next, HR should be evaluated via palpation and heart rate monitor the last 15 to 20 seconds of each. Blood pressure should be evaluated in the last 30 to 45 seconds of each stage. RPE should be evaluated the last 5 seconds of each stage. So in the first 3 minutes, we started off at 1.7 miles per hour with a 10% grade. In the next 3 minutes after that, the speed was increased to 2.5 miles per hour and the grade increased to 12%. The next 3 minutes, the speed was increased to 3.4 miles per hour and the grade was then increased to 14%. The next 3 minutes after that, the speed was increased to 4.2 miles per hour and a 16% increase. Around the 13-minute marker, the participant will run 5 miles per hour with an 18% grade incline. The test will terminate upon participant's request or when a participant can no longer keep up with the test, with test contradictions, or when participant reaches steady state at target heart rate. Allow participant to cool down immediately following test termination between 2 to 3 miles per hour and a 0 grade until heart rate is less than 120 beats per minute and blood pressure has normalized. If participant is highly deconditioned or has disease, it is recommended that the modified protocol be used. So based on the raw data from the treadmill test, we were able to find submax 1 at 24.67 milliliters per kilogram per minute, and the second submax was 35.57 milliliters per kilogram per minute. B was equal to 0.37. With that, we're able to get our VO2 max of 52.96 milliliters per kilogram per minute. So what does this all mean? Well, Justin is 23 years old and has a VO max on the treadmill of 52.96 milliliters per kilogram per minute. According to the aerobic fitness category for men and women for max oxygen consumption, we are able to see that in his range of 20 to 29 years old, he's in the range of good. So his aerobic fitness is categorized as good. So here's instructions for the Astron cycloaerogram test. This test is a continuous protocol that increases in workload every 2 to 3 minutes. Participants are encouraged to continue as long as possible for the max test, or until a predetermined percentage of age estimated heart rate is attained, which is about 70% of heart rate max in this test as well. Heart rate should be evaluated via palpation and or heart rate monitor in the last 15 to 20 seconds of each stage. Blood pressure should be evaluated in the last 30 to 45 seconds of each stage, and RPE should be evaluated at the last 5 seconds of each stage. The test will be terminated upon participant's request or when a participant can no longer keep up with the test, with test contradictions, or when participant reaches steady state at target heart rate. Allow participant to cool down immediately following test termination at 0 kp, 50 rpm until heart rate is less than 120 beats per minute and blood pressure has normalized. First things first, let the participant warm up with a 0 resistance and a cadence of 60 RPM. The RPM will stay constant throughout the whole test. Once your participant has warmed up, increase the resistance to 2 kp. After 2 to 3 minutes, increase that resistance to 2.5. After 2 to 3 minutes, increase the resistance to 3 kp. After 3 minutes, increase it to 3.5. And finally, after 3 minutes, increase it to 4.0. After those 3 minutes, the test is done. The participant is now able to cool down. Remember, cool down is 0 resistance at a cadence of 60 RPM. Cool down is about 5 minutes long. Here in the data, we had to, in order to find VO2 milliliters per kilogram per minute, we had to have work rate divided by body mass, times it by 1.8 milliliters over kilogram over minute, plus 3.5 milliliters over kilogram over minute, plus 3.5 milliliters over kilogram over minute. So the workload was 2.5, and so that equals to a work rate of 900. At the end, with the calculations, our submax 2 was equal to 30 milliliters per kilogram per minute. In order to find submax 1, we do the same thing. We just need to find the workload for that. So we find the workload is 2, and it equals to a work rate of 720. So we end up with submax 1 of 25.4 milliliters per kilogram per minute. Once we find B, which is submax 2 minus submax 1 divided by heart rate 2 minus heart rate 1, you're going to get a 0.35, which is B. With B, you're able to find the VO2 max. So the VO2 max was 49.25 milliliters per kilogram per minute. So what does this all mean with ergometer bike? Well, Justin's 23 years old, which puts him in the 20 to 29-year-old for men. His VO2 max is 49.25 milliliters per kilogram per minute. That just puts him barely in the range above average. He's really close to good. If I was round up, it would still be at 49, so he's averaged here. So with the ergometer, he is average according to the aerobic fitness category for men and women for maximal oxygen consumption. Issue the ergometer VO2 is 49.25 milliliters per kilogram per minute versus our treadmill, which is a VO2 max of 52.96 milliliters per kilogram per minute. That's almost a 4 milliliter per kilogram per minute difference in there. So what's the difference? So VO2 max scores on ergometer is approximately about 6 to 11% less than compared to the treadmill. But however, the ergometer is more widely used and is also more preferred for individuals not able to safely walk on a treadmill. So those people who are at high risk or are unable to withstand any weight bearing while walking. So the ergometers are really good for that. While Justin, on the other hand, is a very healthy individual who can withstand a treadmill test much more longer than anyone who has high risk of heart disease, hypertension, obesity, as well as other health risk.